Twice a year, the clocks spring forward or fall back, marking the beginning and end of daylight saving time. This practice, designed to make better use of daylight during the longer days of summer, can be a bit of a hassle for us humans. While we humans fumble with our alarm clocks and adjust to the shift in daylight hours, what about our canine companions? Do they feel the same disruption that we do? Do our dogs share our disdain for this biannual ritual? Do they even notice the change in time, or is it just another day for them? Dogs, like all mammals, possess an internal biological clock known as the circadian rhythm. This internal clock is crucial for regulating their daily activities. This internal clock regulates various bodily functions, including sleep-wake cycles, hormone production and digestion. It helps them know when it's time to eat, sleep and play. It is tempting to assume that the sudden shift in daylight hours during DST throws their internal clocks into disarray, causing confusion and discomfort. However, recent research suggests that dogs may not be as bothered by DST as we might think. Their reactions, it turns out, are far more nuanced and depend significantly on us, their human companions. Dogs are incredibly adaptable creatures. While dogs do possess an internal sense of time, their lives are deeply intertwined with our routines. They look to us for cues on when to eat, sleep and go for walks. This crucial factor plays a significant role in how they experience and adapt to DST. If we maintain a consistent routine, our dogs are likely to adjust more smoothly to the time change. So, while the clocks may change, the bond between us and our dogs remains constant, helping them navigate the shifts in time with ease. Dogs have evolved alongside humans for millennia, forming strong social bonds that influence their behavior in fascinating ways. One striking example of this is their remarkable ability to synchronize their schedules with ours. Studies have shown that dogs primarily rely on social cues and environmental changes dictated by their human families, rather than solely on daylight to regulate their daily routines. This means that when we adjust our schedules to accommodate DST, our dogs tend to follow suit. If we start waking up an hour earlier or later, our furry companions usually adjust their sleep-wake cycles accordingly. They may initially show some signs of confusion, such as whining for breakfast at their usual time. However, they quickly adapt to the new routine, often within a day or two. This remarkable adaptability highlights the profound influence of human interaction on canine behavior. Interestingly, the degree to which dogs are affected by DST may also depend on their lifestyle and breed. A 2021 study conducted in Ontario, Canada, compared the reactions of sled dogs, who live outdoors and are more exposed to natural light cycles, to those of pet dogs living in homes. The researchers expected the sled dogs to be more sensitive to the time change, given their reliance on daylight for their daily activities. Surprisingly, the opposite proved true. The sled dogs adjusted to the fall DST transition within a day, showing minimal disruption to their routines. In contrast, the pet dogs, despite living in environments with artificial lighting, adapted almost instantly. This unexpected finding further underscores the significant role that human interaction and routine play in shaping canine responses to DST. The Ontario study's findings suggest that while dogs possess a circadian rhythm, social cues and feeding schedules, primarily dictated by their owners, exert a more substantial influence on their daily rhythms. Dogs are highly social animals, and their lives revolve around their human families. They thrive on predictability and routine, particularly when it comes to mealtimes and walks. When these routines remain consistent, even if the time on the clock changes, dogs seem to adjust seamlessly. Their internal biological clocks may still register the shift in daylight hours, but the social cues and routines established by their owners take precedence. While anecdotal evidence abounds with stories of dogs struggling to adjust to daylight saving time, particularly during the spring forward transition, the scientific evidence paints a slightly different picture. at least for the autumn shift. The Ontario study, for instance, found no significant evidence to suggest that dogs experience significant difficulties adjusting to the fall time change. This could be because the fall transition, which involves gaining an extra hour, aligns more naturally with a dog's inclination to sleep longer. The extra hour of sleep could be perceived as a welcome respite, making the transition relatively smooth. However, more research is needed to confirm these observations and explore potential differences in canine responses between the fall and spring daylight saving time shifts. Section 6. Spring forward, sleep deprived. Potential impacts of losing an hour. While the fall transition might be a breeze for our canine companions, the spring shift, where we lose an hour, could potentially pose more of a challenge. This is because the abrupt shift to shorter days and longer nights might disrupt their internal clocks and established routines more noticeably. Just like humans, dogs may experience mild sleep deprivation and disorientation in the days following the springtime change. They might seem a bit more tired than usual, sleep in later, or display subtle changes in their eating habits. However, it is important to note that these effects are typically short-lived and vary significantly among individual dogs. Section 7. Age and routine. When DST poses a challenge for senior dogs. While most dogs adjust to DST relatively quickly, older dogs, much like their human counterparts, might find the transition more challenging. As dogs age, their circadian rhythms naturally weaken, making them more sensitive to disruptions in their daily routines. Senior dogs often have established routines that provide them with a sense of comfort and security. The sudden shift in daylight hours, coupled with potential changes in their owners' schedules, can disrupt these routines, leading to confusion and anxiety. For elderly dogs, gradual adjustments to their schedules in the days leading up to DST can help ease the transition. Section 8. More than just time, environmental shifts and canine anxiety. It is important to remember that DST is not just about changing the time on the clock. It also brings about noticeable shifts in our environment and behavior. These shifts can have a profound impact on both humans and animals. During the spring, for instance, the days become longer and people tend to spend more time outdoors, particularly during the evenings. This change in routine can be refreshing for many. While we might relish the longer days and warmer weather, these changes can be unsettling for some dogs. The increase in daylight and outdoor activity can disrupt their usual patterns. They might experience heightened anxiety due to increased activity and noise levels in their surroundings, especially if they're not accustomed to it. This can lead to behaviors such as hiding, trembling, or even aggression. Observing your dog's behavior closely during the days following the time change is crucial. Pay attention to any changes in their usual behavior. If you notice any signs of anxiety, such as excessive panting, pacing, or destructive behavior, consult with your veterinarian to rule out any underlying medical conditions. They can provide guidance on how to help your dog adjust and discuss potential coping mechanisms. Simple changes in routine or environment can make a big difference in easing your dog's anxiety. Section 9. A tale of two or more dogs, individual variation and owner tips. Just like humans, dogs are individuals with unique personalities and sensitivities. Each dog has its own way of perceiving the world and reacting to changes in their environment. While some dogs take DST in their stride, others might need a little extra help adjusting. This can depend on their age, breed, and even their past experiences. If you notice your dog struggling to adapt to the time change, there are several things you can do to ease the transition. Paying close attention to their behavior is key. Firstly, maintain a consistent routine as much as possible. Dogs thrive on predictability, and a stable routine can provide a sense of security. Stick to your dog's regular feeding, walking, and playtime schedules, even if it means adjusting your own activities slightly. Consistency is crucial for their well-being. Secondly, consider gradually shifting your dog's schedule by 15-minute increments in the days leading up to DST. This slow adjustment can make the transition smoother. This gradual approach can help minimize the impact of the time change on their internal clocks. It allows their bodies to adapt without sudden disruptions. Finally, be patient and understanding. Your dog may need some extra time and comfort during this period. DST can be confusing for dogs just as it can be for us humans. They rely on us to help them navigate these changes. With a little extra care and attention, you can help your furry friend navigate this biannual shift with minimal stress and disruption. Remember, your support makes all the difference.